Good morning, students. We are going to study a very important topic. And before I start, I would like to start with a question. So first question is, in which country do you live in? Okay. So anybody can answer me. Which country we live? And the second question is, which is the highest population country in the world? Okay. Good. So we know the highest population country is China. Okay. So we will today we are going to learn about a important topic which is population. So meaning of population. What is population? So basically, in simple words, population means the number of people who live in a particular area, city or country. Okay, population means the number of people who live in a particular area, city or country. So there are different types of like as in human beings also live in this planet, then animals and plants. So everybody there is a population of all these three categories. But basically, most of the time we study about the human population. So the most common population studied is human population, which is constantly evolving and influenced by various factors like birth rates, mortality rates, and migration patterns. So what is birth rates? When a new child is born, is called birth rates. The mortality rates, the number of people dying every year, and migration means movement of people from one place to another. In terms of animals, animal population can fluctuate based on environmental conditions, availability of resources, and predator prey dynamics. Okay, so basically the survival of animals mostly depend upon the environmental conditions, and if there are more in a place there is more availability of resources, then you can find more animals over there. And the plants population play a vital role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. They provide food, shelter, and oxygen, making their study crucial for understanding biodiversity and environmental health. Okay, so I believe everybody have understood this. We will move next. Factors influencing population growth. Okay, so what are the factors which influence population growth? Population growth is driven by complex interplay of factors. Birth rates contribute to population's increase, mortality rates, and migration patterns influence decrease or stability. The first thing is birth rate. So what is birth rate? The number of births per 1000 people in a year influences population growth. Higher birth rate leads to larger population. So number of births per 1000 in a year. So it is called population growth. So when there is higher birth rate, which will lead to higher population. Death rate, the number of deaths same per 1000 people in a year influences population growth. So the higher the death rate will be, the smaller the population will be. Migration, what is migration? The movement of people across borders can significantly impact population growth. Immigration increases population while immigration decreases it. Okay. So when the movement people move from one place to one city to another city for the purpose of employment or any other purpose, it is called migration. Another top next is distribution of population. So how the population is distributed. So what population distribution refers to how people are spread across a geographical area. It is influenced by factors such as climate, topography, resource availability, and historical events. Okay, so how, in a place or in an area, how the people are spread in a geographical area is called distribution of population. Densely populated areas. Regions like coastal areas, river valleys, and fertile plains tend to have high population densities due to favorable conditions for agriculture and trade. So nearby the coastal areas or in the fertile where the land is more fertile, there will be more population because that is land is good for agricultural and trade purposes. So the population is densely populated areas. That areas are called sparsely populated regions. Deserts, mountain regions, polar areas often have low population densities due to harsh climates, limited resources, or challenging terrain. So where in the especially in the areas like mountains, the population is very low because why the climate is not favorable, the resources are not much available, and the land is also not good for the agriculture purposes. So this is the basically two things where we have understood densely populated and sparsely populated. So what is densely populated? The area where the people are more people are living, and Sparsely means where less people are living due to less availability of resources. Okay. So factors affecting population distribution. What are the factors which affects? We have learned about densely and sparsely. So now, what are the factors which affect which will make a land more dense population or less sparsely populated? So the first thing is climate. If the climate like favorable climate is there, good climate for agricultural, temperature zone is good rainfall is there, then the population will be higher. Okay, sorry. We have population density. What is population density? Population density measures the number of people residing in a specific area. It is calculated by dividing the population of land area, providing a snapshot of how crowded a region is. Okay, so high density means large population in a small area. Low density means low population in a vast area, and medium density means a balanced distribution of population across the region. Okay, so this is just the basic measures of number of people residing in a specific area. Okay, so one of the most important thing in population and studying the chapter population is sex ratio. So sex ratio refers to the proportion of males to females in a population. It can be expressed as the number of males per thousand per hundred females. The sex ratio is influenced by various factors, including cultural practices, health conditions, and gender specific mortality rates. Okay, the first thing is natural sex ratio. At birth, there is a slightly higher number of males than females. This natural sex ratio is influenced by biological factors. This is not in our hands, natural things. So, by birth, the number of men are higher, so it is natural. Social factors, cultural practices, gender specific mortality rates, and access to healthcare can alter the sex ratio over the time. So, in different places where it is preferred to have a boy than a girl, and other factors which good access to good healthcare facilities, which will make the changes in the sex ratio over the time. Economic factors, economic opportunities and migration patterns can also influence the sex ratio, as certain regions may attract more individuals of a specific gender. So depending upon an area where the requirement is like economically more opportunities there, the particular sex will attract there. So this is the basic study about sex ratio. Age structure, okay, which is very much common in studying the population topic. So the age structure, if we study the age structure of a population, refers to the distribution of individuals across different age groups. It is typically represented in a population pyramid, which shows the proportion of the population in each group. Okay, so there are different types of age groups in when we study about population. For example, if there are 100 people, we tell in a city, then there are young people, they are stable population, and there is an aging population. Okay, so what is young population? A higher proportion of young people indicates a potential for future population growth. Okay, so when the in a country where there is more young people, there is more chances of a potential future for that country. For example, in India, we have a very good number of young population. Stable population, a balanced age structure with a good mixture of young, middle age, and older people suggests a stable population. So, when in a country when there is a good mix of young people, middle-aged people, and older people, it will be called as stable population. Aging population. A high proportion of older people indicates a decreasing birth rate and an aging population. Okay, so for example, when there are more number of senior citizens or older people, and birth rate is very low, then that population will be called aging population. Okay, then the potential of that country which having a higher aging population is very comparatively very less than young population, stable population. So this is the basic structure of the population of any country. There are different types of population, so we have to, according to the population number of type of population, young, stable, and aging, the growth of their country, it depends on. Okay. So we will go with an assignment. We have study. So we have basically two important questions. I want you to revise this chapter and learn. So the first basic thing is was what is age structure. We have just studied in today's class. What is age structure? Write in your own words. And how can government policies influence population growth? So government play a very important role in any country to regulate the population growth. Okay, so the question is how the government policies influence population growth. So you have to analyze this thing. You can have to write good examples of some countries where government has interfered to regulate the population, and accordingly you have to write this assignment. And once again you revise the whole topic, and if you have any other questions you can let me know. So in the next class, we will be discussing the points or questions if anybody's having. Okay. So thank you very much for today's class. I hope you all have understood the topic very well. And if anybody has not understood, then please let me know. Thank you.